welcome to this, our very first episode of Swept Up. I am your host, Anthony Longhair Leclair, and this is my lovely co-host, the marvelous Marla the Mouse McHardy.
Hello, everybody.
And so today's feature is Lakehouse, which is a fun Toronto-based band. They should have an EP out sometime in the coming months. That's not official. That's just something I've heard. So I hope I'm correct.
We have no idea.
Lest they get mad at me. But they're pretty cool dudes, so I don't think we'll have a problem. So I went and interviewed the band in Toronto when I was there in January. And we recorded the interview in a bar. That same bar is where they decided on the name for their band. Unfortunately, I can't play any of the interview for you, because being in a bar, they're obviously playing music on the sound system, music that we can't play on the podcast.
Because people love their copyright.
Oops. Thankfully, Lakehouse has been kind enough to let us use some of their tracks, so we're going to listen to 2 live recordings that they did in their studio space while I was there in January. And the first song is a song called Food Basics, or as we like to call it, Food Basics! Which you will understand in a minute. And so yeah, without further ado, here is Food Basics!
You know I'm back at school, and you can't find the nerve to say I'm stuck in the shelves. My life has gotten so mundane. What is time, if nothing at all? Oh, I don't wanna let go. I'm stuck in this free fall, starting out as desperate strangers, ever reaching for a ride. Getting closer can be dangerous. It ain't safer back inside. I'm just trying not to lose touch. Every inch of me wanna still give you another shot. Baby, can't you see that we're just pushing our luck? I'm just drinking from these cardboard boxes that I found in the parking lot. We started out as desperate strangers, ever reaching for a ride. Getting closer can be dangerous, and it's safer back inside. Food Basics started out as desperate strangers, and it's seeking for a ride. Getting closer can be dangerous, and it's safer back inside. Food Basics! Food Basics!
So, that's Food Basics!
Oh, yeah.
By Lakehouse. I should specify that when I sent them the video of the session and they posted it on their site, or on their Facebook page rather, they did mention that they were doing the song about 150% up tempo. So that might be hence some of the flubs on the bass, or losing of breath whilst screaming food basics. But yeah, I think it's a kick-ass song.
It's great. I love it.
The thing about it for me is that everyone knows what a food basics is, or at least everyone at least in Ontario knows what a food basics is. And
I mean, I guess for people who don't know, it's like a sort of a discount type grocery store.
It's like Whole Foods.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
like, I don't know what an American equivalent would be, but
I don't know, whatever. It's like, it's not 7-Eleven, but it's not organic grocery store.
No.
Either way, it's your typical big box grocery store. And Jordan, the lead singer, once worked in a Food Basics, and they shot their music video for this, the link of which will be in the description for the podcast. They shot the video for the song in the Food Basics that he worked at.
And hilarity ensues.
Yes. Yeah. Some shopping cart fun and walking around Food Basics with the song blasting out of his phone so he can lip sync to it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. They had planned a couple of other Food Basics locations in case they got the boot. So that's hilarious. But yeah, to the song itself, I think it's really peppy and really sad.
Yeah, like it's sort of a weird, like, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
I don't know what the word I'm looking for is.
It's a weird... We'll let that hang.
I guess it's sort of like a weird contrast between, like, the upbeat of the song and then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, wow, that's kind of sad.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, thankfully, he's gone from, working out of Food Basics to, being lead singer of a band in Toronto. So he's definitely making more money now.
Well, there you go.
That being said, I'm sure his work is a lot more rewarding. So, love you, Jordan. But anyway, we do have another song for you guys to listen to. We're just going to give general commentary on each song anyway. I mean, we're not going to get too in depth unless it really requires it. I think Food Basics is a pretty...
It's just a fun, very garage rock sounding song. That's great.
Yeah, it's straight to the point. There's not really a lot of subtext. It pretty clearly says what it wants to say.
It speaks for itself.
Very, very loudly.
Yeah,
and,
it shouts for itself.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, I love it. It's a headbanger for sure.
That's right. It's a good summer party rock tune.
Oh yeah.
So,
blasting in your backyard while you're having a barbecue.
So eat your heart out, Andrew WK. Seriously though, I like you, Andrew WK. If you ever want to be on the podcast, that'd be awesome. He's not listening though.
No.
So, here is the next tune by Lakehouse. It is called Living for Today. It is quite on the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
This one's for all the ladies out there. Against the odds, still down to losing hand. we'll just keep on giving. Head is spinning, you're trying to talk. Walking home, we're gonna take the only way I know. Just keep living for today. La da 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 da. For today. La da 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 da. Your passion's waiting. Gotta take a couple more hits to find your way. And there's no guarantee that I won't get stoned. End up just stumbling back on home to your house. And we'll just keep on giving. Your head is spinning, we're trying to talk. Walking home, we're gonna take the only way I know. Just keep living for today. La da 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 da. For today. La da 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 da. And we'll just keep on giving. Head is spinning, we're trying to talk. Walking home, we're gonna take the only way I know. Just keep living. Just keep living. Just keep living for today. La da 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 da. For today. La da 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 da.
Alright, that was Living for Today by Lakehouse. And I have to say, I fucking love that song.
It's great. Oh, yeah.
There's just an awesome feel-good vibe to it.
Yeah, it's nice that way. Like, it's a very chilled out song. But it still, I guess, sort of keeps that like, little bit of vocal grit from the Food Basics. For
Yeah,
sure.
there's still that garage feel to it.
Oh, yeah.
And again, to be fair, I have to reiterate to everyone, both of these tracks were recorded in their little studio space that they had at the rehearsal space in Etobicoke. And it's, so obviously it's a floor recording, so it's not exceptionally
Perfect studio recording,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was some editing of levels, I imagine, but there wasn't like a full production done on this. We sat there, had a couple of beer. I managed to suck down a steam whistle. I'm not a beer drinker, for anyone who ever needs to know that. But I wasn't going to say no when they were offering, so I took the lightest thing they had.
Fair enough.
So thanks, Steam Whistle.
Fair enough.
If you ever want to support the podcast,
Yeah.
your beer tastes all right. By comparison to any other beer I've had.
There you go.
So
There's your sponsorship.
they just sue me instead. Anyway, Living for Today is, I don't know, it's just a really cool song. Both these tracks are meant to be on a prospective EP that I believe is meant to be coming out this summer, and I hope it does, because all the music that I did hear during the sessions while I was sitting there all really work for the summer. it's the best time to listen to this music.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's perfect for a party, or just chilling on the beach, or chilling by the pool, or
just hanging out on your deck,
or
having cider, like
civilized people. Or if you have none of those things, it's just good shit to listen to.
It's good for bike rides.
There you go. If you have a speaker, or you just have a phone with you and can stream it or download it when they have the EP out, guys. But that being said, apparently there's some news. Lakehouse will be playing Sneaky D's on Saturday, July 20th at 6 p.m. They're opening up for Critical. And there are a couple other acts. Buffalo Bill and Napoleon will also be playing. I've not heard of any of these bands except for Lakehouse, and I feel like a complete asshole. But
well, I haven't either, if it makes you feel any better.
Well, there we go. It just goes to show you how wide the music scene in Toronto is.
Absolutely.
So please, if any of you other bands hear this podcast, if Lakehouse shares it with you or lets you in on Swept Up, then please shoot me a message, and I'd love to meet with you guys or have you guys on the podcast, or send me some tracks and we'll review the
I'd love to listen to it.
It's at Sneaky D's, so I imagine most of these bands are pretty hard, which is fun. Mm-hmm. Going back to Living for Today, though, I love that there's a bass solo in it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
And it's really bass heavy.
Yeah.
And that could just be the levels because it's a floor recording. Mm. But it's great. And Tim is a great bass player, in spite of the flubbing and the food basics. But since they were going at 150% speed, I think everyone can forgive him that.
That's fair.
Tim is the bass player and the guy that you hear saying, "For all the ladies out there," at the start.
That was hilarious.
If that's not a put-on... Mine is a put-on accent. His is real. He is actually an Englishman who now lives in the wonderfully budding metropolis of Toronto.
There you go.
But yeah, and I'm sad to say the drummer who is... they might not be sad to say, I don't know. Sad to say that the drummer on both these tracks, Callum, is no longer a member of the band. Last I heard, he was either abducted by aliens or he had spontaneously combusted.
That's all we know.
As drummers do.
Yeah.
So, I'm guessing they must have a new drummer. I don't know his name, otherwise, or her name. Otherwise, I'd plug the person, so I'm sorry ahead of time. But they must have a drummer. They're playing a gig at Sneaky D's on the 20th. That, or they're going for a frantic search for a drummer in the next 2 weeks. But either way, check that out. If you're in the Toronto area, go to Sneaky D's. The food's great anyway.
Yeah, it is.
And buy some hot sauce there. And go upstairs and check out their gig. It's
get some wings.
Get some wings. Get some Mexican food there, and be there at 6 p.m. to check out Lakehouse. This is again the very first episode of Swept Up, so please leave any comments of what you hated about it or what you loved. I guess if you want to share some love, that'd be great.
We appreciate love.
Yeah, we appreciate love, and more than just the love we have for each other. Wow, she just threw up at my love.
Love you.
Love you too. So, thanks again, guys, for listening, and we will check in with you next time. I believe the next band that we'll be reviewing is Green Knuckle Material.
There you go.
It's a very interesting band. Reminds me a lot of Project Wise.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's that one.
Okay, that one.
And if you've never listened to Project Wise before, I really encourage you to listen to some of their stuff.
It's great.
And then check in on episode 2 of Swept Up. So until then, love you guys.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Have a good one.
See you later.
Swept Media. Get swept up in today's independent music.
So yeah, without further. So yeah. For all ladies out there.